Now we're on Module 8, Part 3, starting on page 8-8. In this little piece of the lesson, we will talk about filtering data in the pivot table. So we set it up the way we wanted, but we see everything. Now we'll learn how to filter it so we only see parts of the data. This is the same thing as you did before with tables, except now it's done with a pivot table. For step 1, we're still in our same file, and we're going to go up to the Analyze tab. There are two ways that we can do filtering. One is to use a slicer, and the other way is to do a pivot table report. So we'll do a little bit of both of those. Up on the Analyze tab, which I already was, but that's okay. And if we look in the Filters group, we can insert a slicer. And when the new window comes up, we'll have to say what we want to filter to see. So we want to see, just a second, position ID and office. And I need to clean up my screen a little bit here for it. Let me turn off the fields list for a sec. We'll use it in a second, but oh, I can't because I have the window open. Okay, I suspected. All right, so it closed it for me. And I'm going to, if I'm really smart aleck, and I change my sizing just a little bit, I can still get them both on this screen and you can see them. I'm just dragging them over to the right hand side so I can work with them. Okay, now what we want to do is set up the sizes for these. And so on the Office slicer, if we go up to the size, we're on the slicer tab in size, and they want us to set the top one at 1.18, and that's the height, and the width at 2, which it already is. So we did that. And then for the position ID, they want us to set the height at 2.6 and the width at 2. So it wasn't much change, but okay, we did that. And now on step 3, they had a quick tip there. There are other options, that you can play with if you want to. We won't. All right. In the position ID box, we want to see the position ID for 110. And if you remember, so everything disappeared except 110. And remember before we did click, shift, click, so that you would have the first one, the last one, and everyone in between. And I said you can select some by doing click, control click. So that's what we'll do here. I clicked one, I'm pressing down the control key and holding it, and then I'm clicking the 510 button. So now we will see both of those, and when I let my finger up off the control key, you'll see I have those two sets. And we're going to do the same thing down in the offices. And for the offices, we want to see New York and Philadelphia. So I'll click on New York, press it down and hold the control key and click Philadelphia. And when I let my finger up, then we'll see only New York and Philadelphia. So that it's taking the same skill and applying it to a new situation, which I told you, those two skills go all the way across computers, let me tell you. Alrighty, with that done, I am going to clear these two filters. I can just do it with the clear filter box, which you're familiar with by now. And I have everything back. Then in step 4, we're done messing with these now. So I'm going to select both of these little windows. I'll click position ID, press down and hold the control key, click the office, let both fingers up. Oh, where's my video? Oh, I don't have it on. Oh, that's why. You see me lift my two hands up. And then I'll go up. It doesn't matter where you do it from, but I'll right click on here and remove the slicers. Goodbye. Now, with that done, let's move over to this pivot table report. It's a report filter, and we need to reactivate our pivot table because there's no tabs there for us. So I'll just click in it somewhere. And the 2 tabs showed up, and the pane, pivot table pane, showed up as well. So we'll activate that. And we're going to go way down into the rows section at the bottom as to what rows we currently have. And to the right of the word quarter, there is an arrow that I will click. And what we want to do is move it to a report filter. I have to try it again. It's going to come up here into the filter section. So quarters into the report filter. And notice how it has changed now. The filters are not showing now like they were, but it gives us options up at the top in A and B there. Do you see them? For quarters, and you can choose which quarters you want to see. So if I wanted to see the first quarter, now watch these numbers, just so you'll see them change. Oh, yeah, I got to be able to click first. See the numbers changed? And right now it shows me that I have a filter on. So I can click, another filter. I don't know. And instead of doing the click, control click, this one offers us multiple items down at the bottom of that window. So if I go down there and choose that, then I get the little check boxes and I can choose which ones I want. While we're here, you see that the all button is kind of black and gray. And now if I click all and show multiple items, they're all clicked. Oh, come on, mouse. Upsy daisy doozy. There. Ah! I'm using a trackpad. Anyway, you see it's a checkbox here, okay? And then if I chose just one, there we go. If I chose just one, then my check multiple items box is black with a band around it, and then the one that I want is checked. When these all buttons, you may have seen them, but you didn't realize it. If it's not checked, that means nothing's selected. If it's checked, that means all are selected. And if it's black, it means that some are selected. So just a little tricky thing. Took me a while to figure that out, so I thought I would share that with you. Anyway, we these multiple items, it's over on the other page, on page 9 in that gold box. It talks about doing this, but I just did it here while we were at it. So we're supposed to choose box 4 or fourth quarter. And so we have now, and let's check it against our picture over there. We chose the fourth quarter, and we're showing all of the cities, and we're showing all of the jobs, and we have a grand total. So we're all set. That's the end of this lesson.